Hey, I am feeling this vibe. What song is this? Girl. I'm over here body rolling. Body roll. That is a vibe.
Yeah, fire.
That is a vibe. That is a great way to bring in a Saturday afternoon.
I think Girl, so. I agree. Here.
Loving it, loving it. So good afternoon, ladies, and good afternoon to everybody watching and listening. We are the Not Your Typical Girl Talk crew, and we have a lot of foolishness to speak about today. Okay. So we're just going to go and introduce ourselves in alphabetical order.
Yes. Hello, family. Welcome to another episode of Not Your Typical Girl Talk. My name is Garcia. I want to just quickly thank Radio Region, syndicated through iHeartRadio, for allowing us this platform to be on here to chat about the foolishness. Tell me, what is going on, girl?
Ooh, girl, the foolishness is real. But you know, Cara, I want to quote, as the great Shakespeare said, "What is goodeth in thy hoodeth?" Well, I don't know if he said it, but I'm going to say that he did, because y'all weren't here anyway, so he could have very well said it. Anyway, y'all, yo, what is up? My name is Telly. I'm going to say that Shakespeare dissing, I feel like he was a brother. But anyway, Shiva girl, tell who you is, child.
After that, I don't know what to say.
I feel
that Shakespeare.
With
words like that, who else has such smooth words than a black man?
I feel, listen, things are good in my hood. I am Shiva. They call me Shiva. I'm the final female member. I was Not Your Typical Girl Talk crew, and I'm going to let my partner introduce himself.
Yes.
Friday 3 times, and happy Saturday, everyone. And let's get to the show.
So, listen, I don't know about everybody's family tradition, but I have a thing that on Fridays I do not cook. I don't cook on Fridays. I am happy to cook every other day, especially on Sunday. But Fridays I don't cook. And often you want to have some takeout, some fast food, different things like this. Well, I'm going to recommend you not go to this particular fast food restaurant if you have a tradition like mine. Arby's manager in Washington State caught downloading disturbing child porn admits to peeing in milkshake mix.
Not that we need more context, but
I will read it.
I feel like it speaks for itself.
I think that's the story.
I think that's good.
Uncle Keith tells us a little bit more. So, an Arby's manager in Washington State admitted to relieving himself in a milkshake mixture at least twice. During an investigation that was looking into a computer that was downloading child pornography, the computer connected them to 29-year-old Stephen Sharp, an Arby's manager. The computer they were investigating was being tracked near an Arby's in Vancouver, Washington. When police caught up to Sharp, he admitted to downloading and distributing the child porn, but there was more. After police obtained a search warrant, they went through all his devices and came across a video that he recorded of himself peeing into a container of Arby's milkshake mix. The news outlet reports that the man admitted to urinating in the mix at least twice. According to court records, at least one ice cream float and between 30 to 40 milkshakes were sold the day he peed in the mix. While the man claims that he's almost sure that he threw the container away after peeing in it, police are asking that anyone who purchased a milkshake that day come forward with a receipt.
You know when something is so gross and so wrong that you don't really have words to put what? You know, I'm speechless. I don't
also
know
have a question.
what to say.
Garcia!
This is just a consumer question, but how many of us keep the receipt from grabbing a drink at, you know, a coffee place or,
Do they even
you
give you
know,
a receipt?
exactly. Like when you go to, you know, Starbucks or McDonald's for a smoothie or something, who's keeping the receipt?
Nobody.
Nobody keeps the receipt. I tried. Nobody keeps it. No one is keeping that. I keep receipts for large household items.
Right.
That's it.
Exactly.
If I buy a
Electronics and
computer,
right.
a laptop, some
Right.
furniture, whatever. If I buy a milkshake, a coffee, I'm not keeping a receipt. And also, do they not have surveillance? They damn well can just go through the surveillance tape. And now, I don't want my face on TV necessarily having bought the peed milkshake, but you can go through and find out. It's nasty. It's dirty. It's dirty.
And I feel if anyone does come forward and they don't have a receipt, look, people aren't going to come and openly admit,
But they drank
like,
urine.
hey, I drank a urine smoothie or whatever,
They
milkshake.
drank the golden smoothie.
So, ew.
My milkshake things with the boys in the yard.
And they're like, I don't understand why.
But I have to charge.
Here's my thing. You know what's so funny? Before I saw the story, before you guys sent to me, I always have a conversation with Rob, and I was like, how does Arby's stay open? In my years, I have never been to Arby's.
I've never had Arby's.
Never.
I've never
I don't like cold cuts.
I've never thought about going to Arby's. Like, it's never crossed my mind. On my Fridays, I'm not cooking. Let me go to Arby's. So I don't even know how they stay open.
Yeah,
I don't know how they're so relevant.
Yeah, that is not a fast food restaurant I've ever tried.
Never.
There's not a lot in per se Toronto GTA area, but I've seen them, but I've never gone in one.
I only know of one, and I've never been in there, and damn well, no one's going in there now.
Also as well, I do feel bad about the serious part of it. I do feel horrible about this whole, you know, the child pornography piece of it. It's disgusting. And again, people watch for your kids because I don't know.
He's 29?
He's 29. Stephen Sharp.
What's wrong with people?
Like, he was just a kid like 12 years ago.
Here is the thing. Was he urinating after he down? Like, what is happening? Like, what? No, I'm done, actually, because I actually don't know what thought goes through your mind to think, there's the bathroom, but let me take this milkshake mix and...
It's right?
It's gross. There's a lot of wrong here.
It is too much. I just words to the wise. No one go to Arby's.
Especially in Washington State, in Vancouver, Washington.
Mark that location.
Robbie, 3 times, do you have anything to say before your segment?
I mean, isn't that the roast beef store? Like,
yes.
So when's the last time you had an urge for roast beef? That's not really a staple food item in our. We like steak sandwiches. We don't really like roast beef sandwiches.
That's why none of us have been there. Like, none of us can say we've ever been to an Arby's.
No, never been to an Arby's.
And that's one of the main reasons. The meat they serve, or
like
what it's supposed to be. Yeah, like, no. Mm-mm.
Trust cold cuts.
I don't eat that.
Yeah, okay, bona fide for Arby's. Let me ask, because, you know, Robert is our male, you know, perspective here.
Yes.
If you meet a young lady and she's attractive and she offers you fellatio, how do you feel about the offer? Like, she's just like, yo, I think you're cool. You know, I wanna give you some good loving, good time.
Red flagged. Sorry.
Oh, is that a red flag?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
That's something women do a lot.
Well, we're going to tell you something this one woman did, which was even more of a red flag. And it was even vile to me how people responded to this. Jacksonville woman facing sexual battery charges after breaking into a man's house to give him some top. And her commentary is, I still can't believe he snitched on me. I swear, if you break into a man's house once and give him some top while he's asleep, they label you. I didn't harm anyone.
She didn't harm anyone. She sexually assaulted him.
Can I just,
Isn't
here,
that
let me put it in,
wrong?
and here I go now saying, you know, the Me Too movement isn't just for women.
Thank
Okay?
you.
The Me Too movement is
Girl.
actually for anyone that has been, you know, violated.
Exactly.
So I say, let's turn things around. What if a man broke into a woman's house to give her some good loving without consent? What would have happened?
Oh, the Me Too movement on that man. He would have been on that
The police
man.
would have shown up and charged him with sexual assault, and depending on how far he got, rape. And he would be charged as a sexual predator and offender.
So the best part of the comments, because I was pissed,
Oh, dear.
right? So I start reading the comments, and you know, people have the nerve to say, I guess it wasn't that good. That's why he snitched on her. If it was
What's
better,
wrong with people?
said anything. And I'm thinking, are you serious? I'm sorry. What happened to a conversation? Because if you know, if the woman knows where you live, clearly it isn't a woman you have just met. You have had maybe some kind of relations with her. She knows enough to know where you live. What happened to a conversation? Hello, Rob, you know what? I'm feeling kind of tonight, horny tonight. I'd like to come over. We can have some good time. And Rob says yes or no. And
that's it.
You had to like open your mind to say, I'm gonna get into my car or Uber or public transportation, however she got there. I'm then going to go in. I'm gonna find a way to get into his house. That means that the door was not unlocked, so she may have gone through a window or whatever she did, got in there, creeped around, found his bedroom, pulled down his pants when he was sleeping. What? How?
How? Make it make sense.
How? And then the fact that she says again, I still can't believe he snitched on me.
Snitch.
I swear, if you break into a man's house once and give him some talk while he sleeps, they label you. I didn't harm anyone. She's been charged with sexual battery. And she says she hasn't. So apparently, so men don't need to consent, is what
I guess.
I guess not.
That's the message that she's spitting.
There's a perception that men have no, you know, like
No control.
Right, no control, right. And men are just always out here wanting it from anyone.
No.
They want it from, listen, the same way that us women have standards
and control
and morals, and we think men don't have that too.
No, that's when they get control.
Men are just out here like wild beasts.
Just gonna take it from any woman that looks at them? No, honey.
Bobby, it's your turn.
I guess Florida woman is becoming a thing. We get
right? Florida is the song of Florida.
Damn Florida.
Wow.
Right. But again, different perspective on it. I'm just thinking of it from the breaking in the house aspect of it. Most people who break into homes carry weapons. And I would be very scared if an armed woman broke into my house to give me some top, as she liked to say. I'd hope that's all she wanted to give me. It just seems scary and dangerous. And I think not many men would read that, if you gave them that scenario, would sit back and be like, oh yeah, that would be dope. That'd be dope. I'd love to get waken up I went to bed by myself, but I wake up startled because first I really hope this is a woman. Yeah, that's just from my perspective, that's not how I want to wake up after going to bed alone. at all.
Yep.
She lucky, man. And I just wonder how that whole scenario went down. And he was probably just like, just let her do what she want to do. Please leave, and call the police after she left. Like, again, she turned him into the woman, and she
Yeah.
Yeah.
and she was the burglar man.
Yeah.
Completely roles reversed.
Yeah.
And again, the fact that people in the comments thought it was ha 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 funny,
That's disgusting.
funny. If she was better at what she was doing, he wouldn't have called the cops. That was a lot of.
You know what? And
He slept well the next night?
No, he did
He was
not.
probably checking how the hell she get in. Checking
exactly.
Absolutely.
He's like, there's a security breach on my home,
Yep.
right? And another thing too is we're talking about Florida, very famous for the stand your ground law.
Yeah.
She's crazy as hell. I'm not breaking into nobody's house in
That part.
Yeah, what if he
We
was
all
like,
got guns.
Yeah,
And
well,
you're
yeah,
allowed
easily.
to use them.
Yeah.
You are allowed to protect yourself, and you are allowed. Actually, I wouldn't even do that in Canada because you are allowed to defend yourself. If someone's breaking into your home, you can shoot them.
Yep.
What if she was in the dark and he's like, "What the hell? Who is that, girl?"
That's why I said most people that break into homes carry weapons because it is a very dangerous proposition.
Exactly.
That part.
Listen,
Exactly.
ladies, please do not follow this idiot woman. If you are so inclined to give a man you are feeling some top, you can simply ask him, hey, would you like to receive? Because guess what? They have to ask us, because if they do not, it is sexual assault, sexual battery, and rape. Therefore, they have the right to consent who performs certain acts on their body. It's not, I shouldn't even need to make this PSA, but apparently I need to because some women didn't get it and thought it was ha 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 funny.
Oh my gosh. What a sad world we live in. Sad. Just sad.
Okay, so in another segment of Florida is not a real place.
Truly.
Hey, you. This picture. 6 white middle school students in Florida pose with N-word. Officials say photos stem from an innocent art project. If you are watching if you're listening on the radio, I should say, there are 6 children lined up and they have spelled out N-I-G-G-E hard R standing in a line. And I'm going to tell you what the art project was supposed to be. But before I start reading, ladies, thoughts?
We have to start holding schools accountable for, accommodating platforms to showcase racism. Like, I'm sorry, this is like the second thing I've heard this week or in the past 2 weeks about schools coming out and saying, well, no, it's not our fault. We didn't know. I'm like, wait a minute. You provide the venue. You know exactly what they're doing. You are there when they take pictures of the racism happening. How do you not know? That's all I have to say.
Oh gosh.
Well, let's hear more. A Florida middle school is currently under fire after 6 white students posed with the N-word in front of their school. In response to the backlash, schools officials are claiming the photo stemmed from an innocent art project. The incident went down recently at Hidden Oaks Middle School, which is a part of Florida's Martin County School District. This past week, a highly disturbing and offensive photo began circulating showing 6 students holding up 3D letters spelling the racist slur. Each of the 6 letters also had racial stereotypes painted on them. On Monday, May 16th, in response to the backlash in South Florida and across the internet, Martin County School District officials say they are appalled and saddened by the actions of their students. An innocent art project was unfortunately taken to a different level by some students who made an extremely poor decision. Apparently, the exercise was to help the students build 3D projects, creating letters to represent an initial in each of their names. But the children took things a step further and decided to use the letters to spell out and pose with the racist word. We're still trying to gather specifics on how some of the letters that students created came about. considering it wouldn't necessarily be a part of their name. After the school district launched an investigation, the sheriff's office said on Wednesday that there will be no charges filed since no crime was committed. Meanwhile, district leaders say the 6 students involved will definitely face disciplinary action, and they're working as quickly as possible to determine exactly what their punishment will look like. They add that the district has zero tolerance for hurtful or discriminatory message of any type. Okay, so not only do they do the letters, they also have painted things on them. So no teacher saw this. There was
No teacher saw it.
So these kids were just in a classroom by themselves.
Yep.
Just doing 3D letters by themselves.
Yep.
Taking the paint to paint these things, and then going outside the school and someone taking a picture. No adult saw any of this.
No supervision whatsoever. And then, I'm sorry, for the discipline, what are they going to do? What, put them in detention? Have
In school suspension.
What, suspend them? So they can hang out in their room and listen to Tupac and be like, yeah, my
They could have spelled another word.
Of all the letters these brute beast pygmies could have put together, they chose those letters.
Could have chose another
I
Once again, it's Florida. So I mean, I know the whole world has an issue, but Florida's really coming through a lot these days.
No adult
No.
saw any of this. No adult. So, and again, they're 12 and 13-year-olds. And I'm gonna put the children to the side for a second. No adult saw any. There was no adult who saw any of this happening.
Yeah.
Because I notice everything. I am a person. I notice things. And if I am a teacher of 25 to 30 students, you are trained to kind of be observant. So no one saw that in a 3D project they were doing something a little bit extra. They then took the letters outside. They had to take them from the classroom, take them outside, because they're posed outside of the school. Here is the school.
Yep.
Here are them outside of the school. No one saw
Listen,
them.
yo. The teacher took that
Teacher
photo.
didn't
Okay.
care.
The teacher took that photo.
Yeah, because they don't.
She
care.
probably put it on her Facebook page saying, look, I'm such a great teacher. Look what my students did. Their initials and
The
the
teachers
letters.
don't care.
They don't care. They're
I
all
mean,
racist.
The kids could have spelled ginger.
That's what I was thinking.
But no, that doesn't strike a chord with the other word. So, but, oh, you know why, too? She didn't want to upset redheads. You can't just go around calling redheads ginger. So she
Yes,
figured, let's just insult the black people and call them the N.
That's
They
not
can
a
take
big
it.
deal.
Girl.
They call themselves that anyways. Bobby, 3 times. You want to say something before your segment?
Not really. That's just typical of, and here's the thing, that's why the arguments against critical race theory are so hilarious to me. Because the way I interpret that educational agenda is to try to help young white kids not do stuff like that. And I guess that's not something we need in this country. Because, yeah, like you said, they completely did that in autonomy.
Completely. Like no one saw. No adult managed to see any of it. Like
So wouldn't it be safe to at least say we could question the supervision of the children?
Thank you.
At least we should be able to question that.
That's why I put the children aside for a second. Their 12 and 13-year-old brains are sponges, and they've soaked up what they've heard, what they've seen, what they've experienced. That's what their 12 and 13-year-old brains are.
And the desire to communicate.
And the desire to communicate it.
Yeah.
Where no adult saw.
That's
no
what I'm
adult.
saying. Yeah.
No adult. No
Right.
adult saw this.
No one saw it, girl.
And the adult still chooses not to discipline or teach or inspire kids to do things differently. And that's the shocking thing about this story. Like you said, it's not even so much the kids, which is why my first thing was, why is the educational system still allowing this sort of stuff? Like, what are they doing to stop? Because they're allowing it.
They don't
They're giving them the ability to do it.
They don't.
There is no
care.
correction. There is no, why did you do that? There is no, let's dig deeper into why these children think it's okay. That means I'm not doing my job as a teacher.
Remember, they're getting paid still, so they don't care.
If black students beat them up on that day, they would surely be arrested for that.
Facts.
Facts.
Big facts. And with that, we're going to go into our first segment of 3 minutes with Robbie 3 times. So let me tell you, the next segment,
Uno, dos, tres.
let me just say, and Robbie 3 times and go.
All right, so this was not a terrible. I'm not got a terrible stuff to say. Well, yeah, I do, but not a lot. But this Arby's situation, and I'm gonna go out on the Breakfast Club. Charlamagne likes to play a game called "What Race Is He?" And in this situation, I think we can unanimously agree, without even saying it, what race we all are pretty sure this gentleman is, Mr. Steven. And that's it. So Arby's, their logo, I seen the last Arby's commercial I saw said, "We got the meats." That is not marketing for black people. That is, we're like, pause. That sounds like somewhere I don't want to eat, where you serving all this meat. And again, they're famous for roast beef, which, as I said earlier, is not really a staple food in urban communities. You know, I don't think my mom ever served me roast beef growing up.
Mm-mm.
I'm sure it's tasty. There's this au jus, you know, the French dip sub is roast beef. That's delicious. But yeah, I get that from a sub place. I don't go to Arby's for that. Yeah, I can't think of the last time I went to Arby's. Anyways, how much time I got left? The Florida woman, that's probably the most amusing story to me because once again, women are working very hard to catch up to the rights of men, even when it comes to being creepy and aggressive and dangerous. And that's exactly what this woman was. It sounds like, I'm gonna go out on a limb again. I think this woman has a sex addiction issue. I don't know why she zoned in on this particular guy, because I'm sure she could have found some random 7-Eleven employee or someone like that. happy to receive her services. But she zoned in on this particular guy because I'm imagining he had a little bit going on for him. Like you said, she has some interaction and knowledge from him. And that was designed to let him know how much she wanted him. And guess what, ladies? The more you let a man know how much you want him, the more you scare him. Because we're starting to feel like we're in danger from you.
Oh.
For real.
Wow. That's
scary to us.
Oh.
A woman that doesn't get signals, doesn't get signs, doesn't get, I'm not messing with you like that, sis. That's scary because y'all know there's a women's penitentiary, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know it's full of women who are in there for hurting men, right? But I guess that's not a real place either. And the Art Kids Project, like I said, ended on that. If they would have got beat up for that, the black kids that beat them up would have got in trouble. And that's the problem. So when they say there was no crime committed, it was, yeah, no crime per se, but that's aggression. How can you see it as anything other than that?
And thank you, Robbie, 3 times. Garcia, talk to the people that.
Yes, we are here. We are not your typical girl talk. We talk about all of the foolishness going on the internet, and we try to make sense of the foolishness. So yes, we need a whole hour to do that, and we could be here for 3 hours if we really wanted to. But
Instagram,
you know, small doses. We want to thank Radio Regent for allowing us this platform. Radio Regent is internet radio syndicated through iHeartRadio. We go live on IG here at 3 p.m. Eastern Time every Saturday. And then you can get another dose of us on the replays that play on Radio Regent, internet radio, syndicated through iHeartRadio at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So check us out on Radio Region, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on the very good old internet to get more of us. And thank you so much, Radio Region, for the love. We love you. And we're going to move on with the rest of the show.
So we are going to take a moment of silence for the people in Buffalo who lost their life from the white supremacist mansion. Moment of silence. Okay. Now, could you imagine being in a situation like that? Being scared for your life, calling 911, and then, we'll let the lady who called 911 tell you for herself what happened.
Who is live on the line with us. Letitia, if you're there, thank you for joining us. It's my understanding that you were working inside of the Tops Market. I believe you were an assistant manager there. Can you walk us through what you saw this afternoon?
I didn't really see much at all. I just heard the gunshots and just dropped down to the ground and just waited for him to stop. And he just wouldn't stop. So I tried to call 911 and I was whispering because I could hear him close by. And when I whispered on the phone to 911, the dispatcher started yelling at me saying, "Why are you whispering? You don't have to whisper." And I'm trying to tell her, like, "Ma'am, he's in the store, he's shooting, he's an active shooter. I'm scared for my life." And she said something crazy to me and then she hung up in my face. And I had to call my boyfriend and tell him to call 911.
Well, that is certainly unfortunate, Letitia.
So you call 911
Wow.
because you're literally in fear for your life. People are dying around you. And the 911 operator hangs up. You then have to call your boyfriend to tell him to call 911. And now because I know Rob is now freaking out because I'm telling him there's a shooter in the store. I'm in wherever this woman is. So now he's going to call 911 so 911 can come and rescue me.
He didn't hang up on her when I'm assuming she was whispering to him too. Somehow he managed to get the message of what was going on and managed to convey that. But that also prolonged the entire situation by minutes, and it was only a situation that lasted for minutes. And let's play what race is she again? And I think once again, we won't say it, but we all know what race 911 operator was. How do you feel it's your place to yell at someone for calling 911? Because she knew it was a prank because they were whispering or whatever it is. That's the saying that you would think 911 operators are trained to listen, but unfortunately, some women aren't.
And you know what? Here's the thing. I've watched a couple of, and I know these are movies, but whatever. Seen enough movies about 911, employees talking to, people, victims and stuff over the phone, trying to help them, support them as they're going through the most horrific moment in their life, like this woman was going through. And usually when there is a mass crime like this, you've got you have like 100 people calling 911 at once. So immediately every dispatcher at 911 knows, oh yeah, something's going down at that grocery store because I just got 12 calls over here about it. I just got 12. I just got 10. I just got a call from someone who just got shot over here. Like, it's a known thing. So the idea that this woman got a call, the first thing because I read the transcript, the first thing the woman said was the address of where she was. She gave her all the details. There's a shooter. There's a man killing people. Here's the address of the grocery store. This is the name of the grocery store. Why are you mad? Why are you mad? You're not in the grocery store being shot at.
No.
Like, the woman should have been like, it's okay. We've got you. We've been hearing about this. Just try to stay calm. Breathe with me. Like, this is what I've heard other 911 dispatchers do in the past. They stay with that person and act as their best friend, and they're like, don't worry, just stay quiet, stay quiet. Tell me what's going on. Can you see the shooter right now? Yes, I can see him. Okay, just calm down. It's okay. Stay down. Like, where was that?
Do you see what you're doing right now? That's actually a trained tactic. You actually mirror the tonality and the everything, the speed, everything of the person that's calling you. So if the person's whispering, you naturally whisper and say, okay, this is what I need you to do. Because again, she can't be whispering. You're like, hey, like, it doesn't work. So it's you do that with children. As a parent, I'm going to tell you something. It's a thing that you actually do also with children, right? When your children are being whatever, you go, Dad, do you want me to do this? When they're being calm, you do this. It's actually a tactic. So you're telling me that 911 was never trained with that? And if you're calling 911 and whispering, logic would dictate that it's because she can't speak loudly.
Thank you.
Likely there's someone close by and she doesn't want to get their attention. But this is how she's getting yours. So how do you... I have nothing, actually. I don't have any more. I don't have anything else.
It's just another class of racism.
Right.
She saw the area. She knows there's a lot of black people there. She was like, well, I'm a part of this kids movement, so go ahead and shoot them all. She could care less. Because her saying that she's mad that she couldn't hear anything, all the more for you to stay on the line. But I guess she had a nail appointment, or maybe she had some other something more engaging to deal with than trying to help someone and save a bunch of people's lives. But what do I know?
And I would even think, even for a second, to be like, even stand up and go, hey guys, I'm getting a call from a lady here. She just gave me this address. Are you guys getting any calls about this?
Not even that.
To me, even again, logic would dictate for me, and I've never been trained as a 911 operator,
right,
but just how things would go through in my mind. If someone's calling me whispering, she's giving me all the details. Again, you read the transcript. I would then, if I can't discern or whatever's happening, I would stand up and say, hey guys, getting this, are you guys hearing everything? And other people might turn around and be like, yeah, we're hearing there's an active shooter at the tops.
And like, for real, I'm crazy. Like, even in damn call centers, you can't just hang up on people. Even if they're joking with you, even if they're pulling your leg, even the training in a damn call center is going to dictate that, look, you have to repeat, look, if you continue to behave in this manner, I'm going to have to terminate the call. This is your first warning. This is your second warning. This is your final warning. I would like you to acknowledge that because of the way you're behaving on this call, I'm going to terminate this call. That's how, again, you're trained. You're not speaking on your own behalf. You're representing the jurisdiction as a 911 operator. So how she managed to make this something about her person not liking the way that she was being treated on this call, even if you thought this was a prank, you still have to say, stop playing with me. This is a serious line for people that need help. If you continue to whisper and play with me, I'm going to terminate the call. And she would say, I'm not playing. There's a shooter. But again, that's where I say her training to listen could not override her need to be right.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Well, we do have a report. I guess she was the last update we had is that they did listen to the call. She did indeed hang up, and they had suspended her with pay, and there was going to be an ongoing investigation, which would probably likely lead to her termination. Suspended with, so you get rewarded for further endangering somebody's life.
Yes.
That's a reward, right? When you get that,
yeah, that's a reward.
I don't have to come to work, but I'm still getting paid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's clearly not fit for that job.
That's what we call vacation time.
You know, it's very common in that line of work. Anything that has to do with the police and with dispatch, they always just get off the hook with pay.
No, but that's the funny thing about the way that the world of law enforcement and criminal justice works is she gets more benefit as the violator than the person who called got benefit for trying to save their own life.
That part. Now, moving on to I'm sorry. So Rob mentioned critical race theory in our last segment. Well, this is what happened, Robbie 3 times, when they try to teach critical race theory at school.
So listen, your son is, the father's black, you're white, and he'd never mentioned issues with race before, you're saying? What exactly changed?
Right, we didn't have issues before. He's in 8th grade. They introduced this critical program, and now he's having racial issues that was not there before.
What kind of racial issues is he having?
Well, he's seeing himself just as a black man. He's seeing things that don't go his way as racism, and he's finding safety in numbers now.
So when you're saying he gets a bad grade at school, he blames racism, or a girl rejects him on a date, racism, are those the kind of things you're seeing?
Yes, I asked him to clean the house, racism, yes.
You're kidding, right? Or are you serious?
No, I'm serious. They have totally changed his perspective. They have put him in a box.
So let me read the headline for those who are just listening. Mom sues biracial son's school over critical race theory curriculum, says it totally changed his perspective on race. So you have a black son and he didn't know he was black until then?
See,
That's really sad.
I've been bursting to say, like, it's
That's
in my
really
it's
sad.
in my mouth and I gotta spit it out.
Mm.
The problem is that we have a lot of people, and I remember this even as a kid. Oh, I'm colorblind. I don't see race. This sort of rhetoric, this sort of narrative is something that a lot of people love to carry around, because that means no one needs to feel anything.
Okay.
Right? Because everyone is free to be who they are. No one is seeing anyone's truth. We're all just blindly walking around like we're all humans. But we all know that society does not see us as all human. We know the system has not created it that way. So we are not going to deal with that. But the whole thing is that a woman has an issue with her son experiencing growth. He has now realized that there is more than just, this young, maybe high complexion young man walking around. He's now realized that, you know what, I'm black. And yes, maybe, he's using some, because I was laughing when she was like, I tell him to clean and he's
like, racism!
Like, I'm going to start even using that.
That's a smart,
when people
that's a
tell
smart
me
move.
to do stuff, I'm going to be like,
Racism.
But,
smart move.
we're looking at a teenage kid who has finally kind of come to his own and realized what he represents in society. And rather than his mother doing what she should be doing, which is trying to support him in this new sort of knowledge that he has, and for herself to educate herself as a white woman raising a black man, how can I best do my job? She wants to blame the school and sue everybody.
That's what I want to talk to you guys about too. I think it's very interesting that women that look like her, they love the creamy babies. They love the half white, half black, or half Hispanic. They love it. And when they have them, they're like, oh no, what do I do? How do I do their hair? How do I talk to them? How do I raise them? You wanted one for so long, and now you have one, and you're raising it like it looks just like it looks like you, but it's not you. This child is black.
I remember, and on Netflix, I don't know if anyone's watched, but that Colin Kaepernick, show where he talks about his life growing up
with his mom and his
stepdad. Again, white parents, and he went through the same sort of thing where he realized I'm black, and his mom actually resented the fact that he didn't like her cooking. He didn't like how she wanted his hair done, because the culture started to become aware of his culture, and she couldn't stand it.
No, because she couldn't control him anymore. He wanted to know more about his black side. And instead of celebrating that, she goes and sues the school. And this news station, she don't ever even putting light on this idiot woman. Why did
that interview?
You know what's like?
Why?
You know it's Fox. Like, it doesn't say, oh no, Fox News Live. It's right there.
Because that was
we know it's Fox.
Yeah. Bias. Yep.
It's Fox News. Of course, he was just creating things like asking a girl out on a date. He's not asking a girl out for nothing. Okay? He's saying to mom, you never told me this. And again, it sucks, but when you're in a situation, how the world sees you, that's what it is. When he shows up for a job interview, he's black. When he goes to college, he's black. When he shows up to the white girl's house, he's black. So sorry, mom, he's black.
You wanted a creamy baby, you got one, and he's black.
This
is it.
So,
That's his reality.
like, how did he, like, where the boy daddy? And why is it a revelation to him? Like, why did he go to school one day thinking he was just, again, how is this like some ball that dropped on his lap or something? Like, because like you were saying earlier, she's been raising him as if he looks just like her, a black daddy.
In America.
Yeah.
So good luck with that, lady. And I hope you're but that's what's crazy. You see again this movement to tear down CRT. It causes black people to act crazy and blames everything on race. Because again, you can't see this as the spider web, the cobweb that it is when you keep treating everything as disparate, but redlining. Oh no, you know what I mean? The fact that ethnic names don't get called back for interviews. Like, oh no, like that's just a one-off. But we got like a million one-offs in this country. Put them together as this whole system. But to each his own, and to try to address it in school. Like, this is the best thing schools have tried to do in forever. And it's being torn down as something else. But if you've noticed, like the boy Tucker Carlson, he's definitely promoting his theory, which is the great replacement theory. And that one is valid. That one is good. That one's solid.
Which is exactly why the Buffalo shooter went and shot up all the black people, because he feels the white race is being replaced by every other race, and they're going to be a minority. But that's fine. But God forbid this young black boy find out he was black. Oh no, we've got to sue the whole school system. Good luck with that, woman. Any court who really goes around and says you can sue for making your son realize something he should have realized before he turned 13.
Okay. But all the best to her in her weird endeavor. Go ahead, child. Go ahead.
Anywho.
But they live in Florida too.
I'm sure they live somewhere in wherever. Because it's not a real place. Now, here we go. So here's the scenario. And I'm just going to read this for you, everybody. So Imani had some words after meeting a dad at a playground. She said, my daughter made a new friend at the playground. I asked the dad if we can plan a play date. He's like, okay, I'll give your number to my wife and you can ask her. I don't know why that's weird to me. Aren't you her parent too? Men who have to ask their wives first bug me. Robert, you take our son to the playground. He makes a little friend and you guys are playing. The single mom comes to you asking for your number so Grant can have a play date with her daughter. What say ye?
This is where, again, I understand your question. I'm going to segment it in a different way. This is where black men are really starting to feel pissed off at, because of this system. Because we're consistently feel like we're put in a situation where we cannot win. So on this side, we have this idiot saying, you're in a relationship. Out of respect for your relationship, I'm going to address the fact that you would like to spend time alone with me, with our children. How is that weird? But on the flip side, I also have this child's mother who is going to lose her shit if I go planning play dates with some woman he's not met, who she doesn't even know of. And again, it sounds fishy there. So that's why it's so crazy that women feel so comfortable saying what men should and shouldn't be doing. It's weird. That's what's weird. Is not respecting when a man says this is how it is, that's actually how it is.
That's how it is.
That's how it is.
That's how it is.
That's
how it is. Because
that's weird.
That I don't know. Listen, dads
And that's when he comes in like, I'm taking Danny to go to he ain't
Right,
even-
because your
Exactly.
buddies,
But
your
to go
buddies are gonna go play baseball or something.
That's it.
But another one.
But we're not planning. Like, I'm not going to plan a play date with a dad.
No.
If a dad were to come to me and say, "Oh my God, our kids are coming," I would say the same thing. You know what? Happy to take your number and give it to my husband, and he can plan it. I'm not planning play dates with another man, and then Rob's not planning play dates with another woman. It's not about a jealousy. It's not about whatever. It's about respecting
It's
boundaries.
respect. That's it. It's
Because
respect
what
the
is
relationship.
he over at her house talking about? What are you
Thank
talking
you.
about?
It doesn't matter.
Thank you. What are they talking about?
It's
Cashmere?
removing, like, okay, the analogy I like to use is a pistol by itself can't do anything.
Okay.
It's a bullet,
Stop her.
okay? What he obviously is aware of is like, okay, a gun by itself is benign. I'm not going to put a bullet in this gun. And that's all what she's saying is it doesn't matter what we're talking about or what we're doing or what has going on because we're not going to do that.
Simple.
That's like saying,
Right.
That's it.
nothing can happen when you're not in the situation. She
Right.
gets sexually assaulted by some dude when she's not in the situation. Nor can I be like, oh,
Accused.
it just happened,
It just
or
happened.
get accused of something, or have to defend my character because she says I did this, that, and the third, and the fifth to her if I'm in that situation. And smart couples, smart people understand that.
You know what? I don't know what is going on. I mean, we live in a world where, you know, I know a lot of therapists that are male. If they have women that come to see them, they actually turn a camera on to make sure that the session is recorded, just to make sure that nothing can be taken out of context to say, oh, this is what happened during my session. So they have a respect for their degree, for their PhD, right? This man wants to keep his wife. Why are we looking at that as a negative? I don't know.
Because
we're honoring each other as human beings. We're in a relationship.
Girl.
We have a child. Can we not respect each other?
y'all are missing the picture. This one's a single mom. She's looking for a daddy for her kids.
Exactly. And
She wants to get a man.
Exactly.
And this man probably drives a nice car.
Right.
And she's like, yo, I can get this. This guy's actually attentive.
Yeah, but guess what?
He's taking good care of that little girl.
He honors his
But he loves
wife.
his wife. And he loves his relationship. And divorce is expensive. So he did the right thing. Anyone that agrees with this woman saying that, oh, yeah, I agree. Why does the man have to ask his wife? Because it's his wife.
Because it's his wife.
Oh, she only, look, that same woman who says that men who have to ask their wives first bug me, will be the same one that once she gets her hands on a man, will be insisting that he ask her first about everything.
Thank you. She automatically will fall into that space. Automatically. So I don't know why she even puts on a public board for everyone to see what kind of woman she is.
Like,
A thirst trap.
Thirsty, Mom.
Thank you.
Yeah,
and here was the thing.
Like, you mad that he curved you a little bit like
That
that?
part.
We not doing all that.
And that's a conversation Rob and I have never had to have. It's just known.
Just straight up no.
And also, Rob's not the play date type of guy, so he's not doing a play date of any sort. Okay? He's just, most men are not trying to do, what are they doing? 2 tea parties? They don't even want to go to the birthday parties. They want to drop the kids off, and that's what time you pick the kids up. It's just fathers. They're very
That's how men
different than
stay.
mothers. Very, very different than mothers. If I'm not around and any of the kids get invited to a birthday party, Rob is not sitting there for the 2 hours. He's going to drop the children off, and if the party's from 2 to 4, he'll be there at 3:45 to pick them up. He's not staying around to help them go. He's not doing it. It's nothing against him. He's just not doing it. I don't know many fathers who are doing that. It's 2 hours of free time. I can go play ball and come back. What are you talking about play date? Like, we're not doing tea parties. Like, it's just not even a thing. So, like, honestly, and again, I will say in these comments, women were even like, I'm sorry,
Of course.
but you no, women actually were
course.
going after her. They were like, Imani, are you looking for a play date for yourself? Because that's
Good.
like,
Right.
spoken like a woman who's not married
Right.
or not in a serious relationship.
Right. Sounds like she's looking for a play date for herself.
That's what I wrote in the comments.
That's what she
Like,
wants.
That's
She
why
wants a play
Imani
date for
wanted
herself.
it.
her kid had nothing. She could have pushed the kid in the sandbox face down.
Why would
She was about this for
why would
herself.
she feel offended? If she wasn't looking for him, then why would she be offended? She would have been like, okay, great, I would love to meet your wife. Can't wait to meet her and have the kids.
Because it's about the kids.
Because now
That
she's being
would have been about the
rejected.
kids, right?
She's
That
being
hurt.
rejected.
Thank you. Her being that mature would have meant that it was about the kids. It wasn't about the kids. It was about her.
Who got her? She could have put that kid's face in the sandbox. She could care less. She wanted a play date with herself and that man, that happily married man.
And good for him. Shout out to the fellas who understand the boundaries of their marriage and stay within it. And shame on y'all thirsty women who see a committed man and want to bring
Shame on them. It's disgusting.
with your hot crotch.
Home wreckers.
Just saying. So we are going to go into our final segment of 3 minutes with Robbie 3 times and go on to James.
Oh yeah. So the 911 caller, again, you know, I know I hate black women, but this is where again that type of behavior that's been talked about by the late Kevin Samuels can be clearly exhibited. Her inability to listen and her need to be right caused her to be suspended without pay. And she probably will keep her job because last time I don't know the tremendous amount about the 911 industry, but I can't imagine there's a line around the corner of people wanting to work there. You know what I mean? It seems like a stressful job. It probably doesn't pay great and probably doesn't, and you probably learn way more about humanity than you actually are wanting to know, but that's still no excuse of how you hung up on someone who is calling in an active shooter. That's ultimately where the story has to start and stop, is that, ma'am, whatever you got going on with you, it allowed you to hang up on someone trying to call in an active shooter. And the CRT situation with the white lady was just tremendously funny to me. Of course it was on Fox News. Of course it was to just trivialize and make a joke out of critical race theory, which is, again, as I understand it, is to design to point out that race is something that impacts and influences everything in this country. Now, does that mean that every outcome is because of racism? No. It just means that it is a very present force. And why teach that? Because it impinges on certain people's rights to raise their children to be racist, and they would like that to continue. And I'm a little split on that, you know. But you can make the argument, is raising a child to be racist child abuse?
It is.
I lean towards that.
It is.
You know, is because I think that's the worst thing a parent can do is pass down your failures, your insecurities, your shames, you know, to pass your worst qualities down to your child. I think as a parent, you should be trying to pass down your best ones. And yeah, I don't need much time to talk about Thirsty and Monty because we pretty much got all over that. And it's so clear that she's a thirst trap. Like he's cute. She probably saw him playing with his kid. Oh, he's a good dad. And he's like, yeah, let me ask my lady, let me ask my wife, let me ask this child's mother, and you got a problem with that. You ain't got no one that you would have to explain where you're setting up play dates either, because you got that baby, but obviously you didn't keep the man.
Hey!
And with that, talk to people now.
Girl, thank everyone so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, you can find us right here every Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Just look for the title, Not Your Typical Girl Talk. Listen to this episode and all of our past episodes on Radio Region, syndicated through iHeartRadio. And we're all over the internet. Find us on social media under our name, not hashtag, our name, Not Your Typical Girl Talk. I'm not always saying hashtag.
Handle.
Thank you. Under our handle, Not Your Typical Girl Talk. Y'all, we thank you. We love you. We got Cursia. I'm Telly. We got Queen Sheba. We got Robbie Rob 3 times.